Hey, all you lovely Scorpios. This is Zahara Stars with Illum Astrology. I'm giving you your February 2018 astro weather forecast. Let me just start out by saying you're one of the lucky ones who happen to have Jupiter in your sign. This is awesome. This is abundance. This is luck. This is feel good. This is basically your time to shine. You will get a lot of accolades, a lot of pats on the back, a lot of people telling you what a good job you're doing. You're an attraction magnet for all good things. So take advantage of this time. He will be turning retrograde on March 8th, 2018, and he will resume retrograde motion all the way until July 10th, where he goes direct again at 21 degrees Scorpio. So you're going to have him in your sign for an extended time. This is where all the opportunities are all around you. So definitely capitalize on those. Mars is transiting your second house of earned income, the things you value, the money you make, and acquisitions. So you might be putting a lot of energy this month into your work, into making money, into organizing your finances, into working. You're working hard for your money. Mars is pure energy, but it's in the sign of Sagittarius, which is totally awesome because Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, and this means that there's a lot of luck and abundance to be had in your earning potential. So definitely keep that action going and come up with new ways to expand your earned income. Saturn is transiting your third house of communication, and you've had Pluto there for some time. So Pluto is the opposite of Saturn. Pluto is about, all or nothing, say it like it is, investigation, research, all those things can include power struggles or being too blunt, perhaps. And Saturn now, since he's entered Capricorn, is going to kind of make you reevaluate the situation because Saturn is more conservative. He's more about, being politically correct to a certain degree because Saturn does rule the 10th house of fame, fortune, and legacy. And, the 10th house is how other people see us. And so in his mind, it's important, for us to be appreciated by others and to be accepted by others. Now, Saturn transiting this house will definitely make you refine your communication skills. Nobody builds like Saturn does. Nobody restructures like Saturn does either. So if you are in the beginning of the transit experiencing any blockages, because Saturn represents blockages, restrictions, and boundaries, limitations, so you can maybe overthink things a little bit more than you used to as far as before you speak. You know what I mean? He's very pragmatic in his approach, and he thinks things thoroughly and make sure that you're not offending too many people. So the downside is that you can find yourself more reserved in the areas of communication, but the positive thing is that you can learn new subjects, you can buy new technology. He also is the planet that shows us our weakest links. So if there's any technology that's on the verge of breaking down, it's possible it could when Saturn's here because he wants you to be efficient. He wants you to have working stuff in working order. So you're going to be restructuring your area of communication, speaking, writing, talking, driving, local transportation, all that stuff. You could buy a new car. You could get your car fixed. You can have your car break down. These are not things that are going to happen if you've been taking care of your stuff. It's just things that could happen if you haven't. Mercury and the Sun are transiting the sign of Aquarius, which is your fourth house of home. So there can be a lot of activity at home and family, a lot of communication. If you have siblings, probably talking with them a lot more than you normally would. If not, you might be speaking about, speaking to family members that maybe you haven't in a while. You could be a lot of activity happening at home in terms of communicating with other people. And you can also be maybe more recognized by your family members, like they're paying more attention to you. The sun is our ego and how we shine and, the appreciation we get and wanting to be noticed. So maybe you're spending more time with your family. The good news and the awesome news is that besides Jupiter, as if there's any more awesome news than having Jupiter in your own sign, but you're having Venus On the 10th of this month, February, Venus is moving into the sign of Pisces, and that is your 5th house of love and romance, creativity, self-expression, playtime, leisure time, parties, gambling, you name it, anything that has to do with having fun and being expressive. And so you're going to be an attraction magnet. Not that you aren't already, because we all know that Scorpios are sexy. They attract like crazy. You just lure people to you. Well, with Venus transiting your 5th house, it's even more so. So if you're single and you're looking to find a partner, this is known as a transit that brings about a very compatible partner, somebody that could turn out to be a very long-term relationship. It is the house of fun and flings. It's not the 7th house of committed relationships. However, I've seen many that have met somebody that they ended up getting married while Venus or Jupiter was transiting their 5th house. It's just that it starts out all fun and loving in the beginning. If you're in a relationship, expect to have some good times with your partner. It's going to be fun. You'll be invited to a lot of parties, or if you have a lot of friends, you'll be invited to social events, parties, you know, anything that involves other people having fun, expressing yourself. As far as business goes, if you have your own business, or if you are in the limelight, if you're a personality, you know, you're going to get a lot of recognition with Venus transiting here. But mostly I noticed with Venus transiting the 5th house, it's all about love and having fun. And you tend to be a lot more confident and expressive. But since your 5th house is in Pisces, it can be very sensitive, sentimental, romantic. You also have Neptune transiting your 5th house, which is really helping the dreams come true here. Neptune is about fantasies, of course, but it's about the idealization of situations involving the 5th house. So it can make you very creative in terms of expressing yourself. Neptune transits a house for a very long time, so I could talk for days about it, because there's many effects of it. But in terms of romance and love, you just got to be careful that you're seeing this person for what they are. I know you're a Scorpio and you got X-ray vision, but with Neptune, everybody's blinded. We're all blindsided because Neptune is just foggy, and we tend to be deeply sensitized, overly compassionate, and we can be attracted to some of the wrong people just because we want to save them, we want to help them, or something of that nature. So if you meet somebody that has more problems than you could write on a list of paper, I would even say more than 2 lines or 3 lines of problems, you might want to, double check and look into that. But otherwise, it can bring your dream come true person, because, we tend to be non-judgmental, more accepting, more loving. We see the best in others with Neptune. So you can really appreciate somebody. You can really have a good time and really fall in love. Uranus has been transiting your 6th house, so it's been mixing up your routine. If you're somebody that's been very rigid in your routine, you probably noticed over the past few years, you've kind of just been, your routine has been shaken up, because Uranus likes to shock us all, and he likes to change things up, and he doesn't want to follow what everybody else is doing. He wants to, try new things. So it doesn't have to be necessarily bad nor good. It's just going to be different. So having him in your house of fitness, health, and work and routine, you might have made a lot of changes in this area. Actually, more than likely you have. You can really come up with creative ideas, new efficient ways of doing things too, because the 6th house is about being efficient and perfecting, and Uranus is about, future, futuristic trends, new different ways of doing things, trying different ways of doing things, mixing it up. So that's been, that's something that's always good too. Overall, February looks like it's ideally going to be a month of romance for you. It's going to be romance, luck, good stuff happening for you. If you'd like a personal reading to get your own personal forecast, because everybody's charts are different, this is just general, you can go ahead and go to my website at www.illumastrology.blogspot.com. Otherwise, I'm going to leave you with this. This is going to be a romantic, very productive month for you. Luck is on your side, so get out there and have fun. And definitely check out my general forecast for February. I posted it up. It's for February 2018. It's a general forecast because we're going to go into retrograde seasons. We're in eclipse season. I talk about the eclipses. Actually, I think I'm going to go ahead and talk about the eclipses that are happening with you. You had them happen in your 10th and your 4th house axis. Well, you haven't had the 4th house yet. The first eclipse that happened in Leo was in your 10th house, which means that a lot of career opportunities are going to open up for you. Some of you may be thinking about changing your job. Some of you may change jobs. Some of you may increase your business. A lot of activity is going to happen in career. And then with the 15th, the one that's happening on the 15th in the sign of Aquarius is in your 4th house of home. So some of you might be making moves. You might choose to improve your home location. You might start spending more time with family. If you're looking for property, it's a great time. Anything that has to do with home and family is going to be highlighted, which means there's going to be a lot of energy going into there, a lot of events and happenings. So pay attention to that. 4th house and 10th house, career, and 4th house, home, is where a lot of the activity is going to be stimulated. So you can be really busy in these areas, and really good positive things will come out of it. So anyway, check out my where am I? Who am I? Check out my February 2018. I was going to say that first because it's important. I cover all the eclipses and the retrogrades because this year we're going to have all the retrograde planets, all the planets turning retrograde. Sometimes it's hard just to talk off the tips of your tongue. All the planets will be going retrograde this year in 2018, including Venus and Mars. So please check that out. The February 2018 general forecast, I cover all of that, and plus all the aspects for this month. So you can look at your chart and see what's going on there. It's too difficult to do it on an individual basis. And then also, don't forget to check back for March 2018. All right, this concludes your February 2018 forecast. I hope you guys have a fabulous month.